In the words of the man coach, all right, all right, all right. We'll go ahead and get this started. We got a short little bathroom break, a little breakdown of what we are looking at here with this big trade happening in Cleveland. Right now, we're looking at numbers as high as $230 million for a 5-year deal. But that also is conflicting. We haven't really seen all the ink dry on this yet. So there is so don't get all mad at me if I got the numbers wrong, but it looks like the deal is all but done. And it looks like Deshaun Watson is heading his way to Cleveland. What does this mean for fantasy purposes and things like that? Is we should see an uptick on people like Donovan Peoples-Jones. We could also see Chubb and Hunt get a little bit more involved. And then David Njoku being franchise tagged there is a little bit of a speculative ad later, but Deshaun Watson's going to be hucking the ball everywhere. What does this mean for Baker Mayfield is we'll see him hit the free agent market, I'm assuming, very soon, because Cleveland's going to have to either release him or trade him, one or the other. And so what we'll probably see there is I imagine he's probably going to go to Indianapolis because they're probably going to be the most starved for a quarterback right now, especially with Jameis Winston finding a home in New Orleans. Russell Wilson's in Denver. We got Aaron Rodgers staying home in Green Bay. We're kind of running out of quarterbacks. So it's basically down to Garoppolo and Mayfield now entering that market. And, I'm going to say something kind of on a personal note here, because I think this kind of stinks for Cleveland fans and for Cleveland overall. It's really sad to see a team that had a guy that was such, you can tell me that Baker was the worst quarterback ever and that he sucked and he was terrible. And I'm almost okay with agreeing with that too, because he wasn't that great out of the pocket. He wasn't that good at making decisions, but he was also still young. He was still developing. And, he did have the heart and soul of that town, and he had the heart and soul of that team. So I feel like getting rid of a pocket presence like himself, locker room presence like himself, for somebody like, say, Deshaun Watson, who could come with a lot of problems. And still, like, the NFL hasn't conceded on what they're going to do with the investigation into the 22 allegations against him. If they find that there's due cause to suspend him, that is still on the table. So the Browns really could have just shot themselves in the foot. For one shot at glory, they gave away their whole entire future. Oh, it's just sad. And again, I'm not even trying to say that Watson's guilty. I'm not saying anything about that. I'm just saying that to have that headache, to have that problem follow you, it just wouldn't be worth the risk, especially when I got somebody that's as dominant in the locker room as, say, Baker Mayfield is. And, another person that I really feel sorry for here is State Farm, because they'll never be able to use those commercials again. And they probably spent a whole awful lot of money on that. Anyway, so the other implications there, as far as what do we think Cleveland's going to be able to do as far as a team with Deshaun Watson at the helm, it's kind of hard to say as far as how he's going to be able to gel in with the team. Again, when you have a shadow like that coming in with you, plus you just missed a year in the NFL, you got to come out there with a chip on your shoulder, and you got to have something to prove. And so I guess we'll have to see exactly what's going to happen there as far as how he gels with the locker room, how the team accepts him, how the practices look, and things like that. And I just don't anticipate he's just going to get in there and be able to take over the role the way that they had it. And I feel like there's just going to be a lot of dissension. I think it's going to be a nightmare locker room. If they are able to gel, though, Deshaun Watson is an amazing quarterback. He has amazing speed out of the pocket. He makes your team guess, and he can turn your team to a 13-4 team pretty damn quick. So keep your eye on that. If you're going out for a trade or anything like that, you probably just got too late because he just found a home. But definitely be out there trying to go grab some Baker Mayfield shares. This is Dirty Jobs. Make sure you follow us at the T2T page, toiletstotitles.com. Follow us on the T2T Patreon at Patreon/toilets to titles. Give us a 5-star review. Give us a like. Do all those things that you're supposed to do. Subscribe, especially if you want a few more of these real quick, short bathroom breaks. And you all have a good weekend, and we